The Battlefield 5 press conference was this week, but did it do enough to conquer Call of Duty? We have a ton of PlayStation news coming right at you, plus Fortnite is investing a ton of money into competitive gameplay. All of this and much, much more for this week's episode of The Nerf Report.
Are you listening? Damn.
Welcome to the Nerf Report. My name is Bryant, Chappel, and let's get straight into this week's news with some big Fortnite news. And seeing that we talk about Fortnite almost every single episode, I figured it deserved its own video package. You've probably heard of it. Well, this week, Fortnite's developer Epic Games announced a gigantic prize pool for Fortnite competitive tournaments. How big of a prize pool we talking about here? $100 million. In a statement from Epic Games, Fortnite competitors, grab your gear, drop in, and start training. Since the launch of Fortnite Battle Royale, we've watched the passion for community competition grow and can't wait to empower you to battle with the best. In the 2018-2019 season, Epic Games will be providing $100 million to fund prize pools for Fortnite competitions. We're getting behind competitive play in a big way, but our approach will be different. We plan to be more inclusive and focused on the joy of playing and watching the game. Stay tuned for more details about competitive structures and the eligible platforms in the weeks ahead. And in case you're wondering, the prize pool of $100 million is more than the top 15 video game prize pools of 2017 combined. In fact, according to esportsearnings.com, Fortnite's $100 million prize pool outranks Dota 2, CSGO, League of Legends, Heroes of the Storm, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Hearthstone, Overwatch, StarCraft 2, Halo 5, Smite, H1Z1, Crossfire, Quake Champions, Rocket League, and FIFA 17 combined. And when you put it into that perspective, this becomes a whole nother ballgame. Like, yes, the prize pool will be spread out over multiple competitions, but if you're someone who excels at Fortnite, this becomes extremely exciting. Like, $100 million is a lot of money. For example, with $100 million, you could literally buy every single person in the country of Iceland a PlayStation 4. Or you could randomly select 25,000 people and buy them a Fortnite Battle Pass for the next 100 years. Or go crazy, think big. Go to lunarland.com. You could buy 3.3 million acres of the moon. And in case you're wondering, that equates to about a third of the moon. And thanks to 12th century oligarchy rules, you become the king of the moon. Fortnite is willing to make you the king of the literal moon.
All rise for His Royal Highness, the King of the Moon.
But in all honesty, this doesn't just raise the bar for esports and prize pools. What this does is it shows how developers need to change their mindsets and how they progress their games moving forward. Like, it might seem super generous of Fortnite giving away $100 million, but they're not just doing that to be generous. They have some big competition coming down the pipe, and they've got to make sure that their game still stays relevant. Call of Duty Blackout launching this fall. Fortnite needs to do something to keep their audience and player base engaged in Fortnite. And quite possibly the biggest gaming news of this week was the Battlefield 5 reveal event hosted by Trevor Noah of The Daily Show. Battlefield 5 will take gamers to World War II. You will lead your team to victory with customized soldiers, weapons, and vehicles. According to EA, Battlefield 5 will take inspirations from the lost pages of history, from paratrooper assaults to tank warfare, in battles that were pivotal, though sometimes forgotten in the early days of war. This is not the World War II you've come to expect. This is Battlefield 5. Now, one of the biggest things coming to Battlefield 5 is the ability to lay down fortifications and railguns. In the past, this was kind of a stationary thing, and you kind of were stuck with the cover that was on the map, and you were stuck with the stationary guns. In Battlefield 5, players can now actually set up fortifications, and they can actually place guns wherever they want it, completely changing the aspect of the battlefield. Battlefield 5 also allows the customization of your soldier through a new mode called Company. Gamers can now customize soldiers' weapons and vehicles through various skins. Which brings us to the gigantic elephant in the room, microtransactions. For those of you that need a quick refresher in video game history, EA and DICE were both responsible for the microtransaction debacle of 2017, in which Star Wars Battlefront 2, an otherwise good game, was overshadowed by pay-to-win strategies and microtransactions. So, now that we have that all sorted out, let's fast forward to this week, the Battlefield 5 reveal event, in which EA and DICE revealed Battlefield 5, and they were asked the question that was burning in the back of everyone's minds. Will Battlefield 5 be pay-to-win?
To unlock these items, then I guess I have to ask, and I know it's a sensitive subject, but I'm still going to go there. Is this game going to be pay to win?
To which EA then responded by saying,
no, you can't pay to get an unfair gameplay advantage.
To which Trevor Noah then asked,
Get an unfair gameplay advantage.
What if I have a lot of money?
yes, what if I had a lot of money? Like $100 million.
So in Battlefield, it's always been about a balanced rock, paper, scissors gameplay, and it still is. You really have to, like Les was saying, you have to play the game to earn new gear.
And at the end of the day, this is good news because it seems like EA and DICE have learned their lessons from Battlefront 2 and are trying to move in a better direction, a more fan-friendly direction. But time will tell with this one because Battlefield 5 launches October 16th for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC. And now it's time to get good and search for the world's greatest gamer. This week's Get Good Moment of the Week is brought to you by bricks. You use them to build walls. This week's Get Good Moment of the Week goes to YouTuber Possum Clips for showing us how truly scary Fortnite can be. That clip wasn't scary enough for you? Okay. I'm about to make this clip all kinds of scary. Play it one more time. And that is why you Possum Clips are the winner of this week's Get Good Moment of the Week. If you want to see your clip or gaming highlight featured as the Get Good Moment of the Week, email them to TheNerfReport@gmail.com. PlayStation fans, get ready to fire up the old rumor mill because... P.S. I forgot to tell you. Right off the bat this week, did the PlayStation 5 just get a release date? Well, more like a release window. During a corporate strategy meeting, the CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, John Cadera, mentioned that the PlayStation 4 might be entering its final phase of life. And according to a tweet from Takashi Machizuki, PlayStation chief Cadera, PlayStation 5 is entering final phase of its life cycle, which would have negative impact to the unit, but recurring revenue via membership services, etc. should cushion some of that. According to the Wall Street Journal, John Cadera then continued by saying, "We will use the next 3 years to prepare the next step, to crouch down so that we can jump higher in the future." 3 years. Huh. I wonder what the future will be like. Welcome to the Nerf Report. My name is Bryant Chappel, and you're here for the 208th episode of the Nerf Report. This week, we're brought to you by the Microsoft HoloLens. For the best viewing experience, make sure to check the Nerf Report out on the HoloLens. And if you don't own one, don't worry, I got you covered.
Alexa, order me a HoloLens.
Right out of the bat, we got a jam-packed episode for you this week. We test drive the Toyota hover car. The PlayStation 5 is about to launch, and we sit down with an exclusive interview with YouTuber turned president. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. President Logan Paul is on the show tonight. All of this and much, much more for this week's episode of the Nerf Report. Oh, the future sucks. And in other PlayStation news, all of that Nintendo Switch hype seems to have Sony a little envious, because Sony this week confirmed that they have not given up on the PlayStation Vita. In an interview with Bloomberg, John Cadero was quoted by saying, "In my opinion, rather than separating portable gaming from consoles, it's necessary to continue thinking of it as one method to deliver more gaming experiences, and exploring what our customers want from portable. We want to think about many options." And honestly, I really do miss my Vita. Like, if Sony could create a device that would allow me to take Horizon or God of War on the go, I would buy that device so quickly. But I want to know what you think. Do you think Sony should get back into the portable market? Do you think they could compete against Switch? And if they could, what's the first PlayStation game you would want to buy so you could take it on the go? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And finally, for this week, we come to the moment you've all been waiting for. The PlayStation 4 giveaway. Oh, man. We're going to have to push that back till next week, because that sound signifies that we are coming close to the end of the show and running out of time. So, to cover all the week's remaining news, we must initiate Nerfed in 60 seconds. The rules of the game are simple. Every single week we have so much news to talk about and so little time to do it. So we take all the week's remaining news, put 60 seconds on the clock, and try to cover it as fast as humanly possible without running out of breath, passing out, or dying. Personally, I like to think of this segment as the game-winning touchdown at the Super Bowl. I back up 60 seconds, boom, toss it, touchdown. They're going crazy. They're smashing that like button. They're dropping so many comments. You're so awesome. You're the greatest. All of that just talking about video games. So, with that in mind, let's put 60 seconds on the clock and go. Jake Gyllenhaal is in talks with Marvel to play Mysterio in the upcoming Spider-Man film. The Alolan form of Pokemon are now in Pokemon Go, so grab your smartphones and happy hunting. PlayStation launched a brand new Elite and Scuff version of their PlayStation 4 controller. Yakuza's 3, 4, and 5 are all getting PlayStation 4 remakes, so yay! Nintendo announced that all jailbroken Switches will be banned. Nintendo also is introducing a brand new dockless version of the Switch exclusive to Japan, but chances are this is probably coming to the US. Detroit Become Human launched for the PlayStation 4 this week. We got our first look at the Lego Movie 2, and plus we got a brand new look at the poster for Shazam. N64 Mini will probably be launching this fall. NBA Playgrounds 2 is officially delayed. Liam Neeson is joining the cast of the Men in Black remake, and Star Wars Galaxy Edge will be opening in 2019 in California. In Disney, just in case you need a host for the grand opening, call me. Not really doing much. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this week's episode of the Nerf Report. If you like what you saw, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new here and haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. And of course, the biggest thing that I ask you to do every single week, if you really enjoyed yourself, share it with your friends. As always, my name is Bryant Chappel. You are you, and this has been the Nerf Report. Thanks for watching.
It's almost like the gateway drug of violence.
Wow, you think Mario is the gateway drug to violence? I can't imagine Miyamoto is gonna like that.